My name is David Heacock, and I left a 7-figure job on Wall Street to save a struggling family business down in Talladega, Alabama. I had no experience in manufacturing, absolutely none. And yet, I dove headfirst into building what is now a $250 million air filter company from the ground up. Today, I want to talk to you about discipline. Discipline is what kept me in the game, and it can do the same thing for you. In fact, I've got 10 core principles when it comes down to discipline to succeed at whatever you do. Let's dive in. I'll start with a story I've mentioned before, but bears repeating. I was working at Goldman Sachs, pulling in more money in my 20s than I ever imagined was possible. But I felt a void, something nagging at me. My family had a small industrial supply company and was in the process of selling it to private equity. My grandfather was near the end of his life, and he hated the idea of seeing it sold off. Everyone said to me, "You'd be crazy to leave a prestigious job on Wall Street." But deep down, I knew there was more meaning in building something tangible, something real that could make an impact on people's lives, even if I had to risk everything to do it. This is the first discipline lesson. Discipline is trusting your gut vision, even if it flies in the face of easier, safer paths. Was I scared? Absolutely, but I acted anyways, because discipline doesn't mean not feeling fear, it means doing what needs to be done in spite of the fear. My new coworkers must have thought I had lost my mind. I decided to manufacture pleated air filters of all things. Why? Because I saw an opportunity to go direct to consumer, keep more sizes in stock, and do it better than anyone else in the market. But I had no idea how to run the machinery. The laminator we got was the machine that nearly put me out of business. It was constantly jamming, gluing the wrong parts, wasting half of our materials. I almost lost a finger trying to fix a jam in the wire. The real kicker, we lost money on every single filter we produced for years. This is the second discipline lesson. Discipline means problem solving when nothing is working, refusing to accept that all is lost, and consistently showing up to fix what's broken. I couldn't say, "This is too hard, I give up." I'd already put everything on the line. So we iterated, we upgraded the machines, we found a hot glue version of that laminator, and we clawed our way out of the red. Slowly. Looking back, people ask me, how did I have the stamina to keep losing money day after day while trying to fix a business that looked like a lost cause? It's something I call building your problem-solving muscle. For me, it comes down to a personal philosophy. Any problem in business is solvable, as long as you're willing to stay in the ring and keep fighting. That's discipline in a nutshell. It's more than hustle. It's more than working 18-hour days. It's a mindset that says, I'm not giving up until it works. And that is what led me from a laminator fiasco to eventually running multiple facilities across the country and selling over $1 billion of air filters and counting to homes and businesses across the country. When I first told friends, colleagues, and even my boss at Goldman that I was leaving for Alabama, they all had a similar reaction. "You're insane." Some were supportive personally, but thought it was a terrible business move. Others flat out said I was throwing away my future. Let's be clear. That kind of doubt affects you. It makes you question yourself. But here's the discipline component. Use the doubt as fuel. Let that be the reason you get up at 4 a.m. to fix a machine or stay late finishing a crucial order. But it's not about proving everyone else wrong out of spite. It's about harnessing that skepticism to sharpen your own focus. Every time I felt drained, every time a new challenge arose, I heard those voices in my head saying, "You can't do this," and it ignited something in me. Yes, I can, and yes, I will. One of the biggest reasons I kept pushing through all the chaos was because I had a long-term vision. I didn't just see a dusty warehouse with broken machines. I saw a future where we'd be producing tens of thousands, eventually hundreds of millions of air filters to ship all over the country. I saw a multi-billion-dollar empire in the making. And discipline, for me, was about acting in alignment with that vision every day, even when the current reality looked bleak. I've said this before, you have to know where you're going and be certain about that vision so you can reverse engineer the steps to get there. The vision was the compass, and discipline was the daily method of following it. Early on, I developed a piece of advice I share with anyone who wants to start their own venture. Be prepared to give yourself at least 2 years of runway, financially and emotionally, before you take a dime out of your business. Why 2 years? Because it's going to take time to figure out anything new. especially manufacturing. You'll probably lose money at first. You'll probably question whether you made the right choice. And that's where discipline matters the most. It's the discipline to keep showing up even when the bank account looks grim. It's the discipline to keep testing your product even when your first 10 prototypes or shipments flop. It's the discipline to keep investing in yourself and your team even when you can't see immediate returns. Discipline also means attention to detail, an obsession really. I had to design every system in our early factory through reverse engineering. If something broke, I dissected until I figured out the root cause. Then I built a process to ensure it did not happen again. For example, we had a recurring problem where the wrong label kept going on the wrong boxes. No off-the-shelf software I could find could handle our very specific needs for pleated air filters. There was no one-size-fits-all solution for that. So I built one. We call it Filterbuy, a system that tracks everything from printing orders to final labeling. Discipline is not just about big, heroic moves. It's also about fixing the small, routine problems that kill your efficiency over time. Because I was disciplined enough to invest in these processes, we prevented bigger disasters down the road and scaled far beyond what people thought was possible. Fast forward a bit, by the time 2020 rolled around, I was feeling pretty confident about the business. Then COVID hit. Suddenly, shipping partners like FedEx and Amazon were forcing limits on our daily package pickups. We physically couldn't send enough product out of our Alabama facility. Our entire distribution pipeline was at the risk of collapsing. Remember that long-term vision? I always knew we needed regional facilities if we wanted to guarantee 2-day shipping or better, but I'd been hesitating, pushing it off, letting the day-to-day busyness become an excuse. COVID forced my hand. So we opened a new facility in Ogden, Utah, literally within weeks. How do we pull it off that fast? Discipline. The discipline to realize that if your gut says you need to expand, do it. Don't wait for the perfect moment. I flew out there repeatedly to oversee the build out. I wasn't going to let fear stop me because I'd already faced bigger fires in the past, sometimes literally. By the end of it, we had a brand new distribution center up and running, protecting the business, and created hundreds of jobs in the process. One of my core principles is experimentation, trying new ideas. Whether it's same-day shipping programs or new manufacturing methods, not all experiments end up successful. We've had major flops that cost me time and money. But I never regret the attempts because we learn what doesn't work faster than the competition. We often pivot to a better solution, like when Amazon canceled a same-day pilot, but we had a backup plan with another delivery service already in motion. But there's a catch. If you're going to try something, do it with full commitment. Don't dabble. If you just dip a toe in and back out at the first sign of trouble, you'll never see the upside. Discipline means you commit fully to an experiment and see it through, so you have real data on whether it's viable. If it fails, you pivot quickly, but you don't half-heartedly test and then wonder why it didn't pan out. Finally, I want to stress that discipline isn't something you unlock once and then coast on forever. It's a daily practice. Every morning, I remind myself of our ultimate goal, to build the world's leading indoor air quality company. Then I ask, what do I have to do today to act like the kind of person who achieves that goal? Sometimes that means flying across the country to help open a new facility. Sometimes it means diving into the nitty-gritty of a new piece of software. Sometimes it means taking a moment to appreciate our team and keep them motivated. Discipline is about consistency, constantly realigning your actions with the vision you set for yourself. But you never lose sight of that long-term dream. I left Wall Street because I wanted a bigger impact. I chose discipline over fear, overcame a chaotic manufacturing learning curve, invested years of trial and error before seeing real profits, and built systems from scratch to handle every aspect of our business. Through fires, freak accidents, nearly lost fingers, shipping fiascos, and expansions, discipline was the one constant that kept me standing. I hope my story shows you that discipline isn't about being superhuman. It's a daily decision to keep pushing, learning, and believing in your goals, even when everyone else thinks you've lost your mind. If you found value in this, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button, and let me know in the comments what resonates with you the most. Are you on the fence about a big decision? Are you struggling with a failing project? Whatever it is, remember that any problem in business and in life is solvable if you have the discipline to see it through. Thanks for watching. and stay tuned for more behind the scenes looks at how we're scaling to the next billion and beyond. I'll catch you in the next video.